Welcome back to AM Northwest. It's Halloween season when the separation between the physical and spiritual worlds is thinner. Here to share why that thin veil is the perfect time to tap into your own intuition, we welcome back psychic medium Daniel Monroe. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
I've never heard this description before of the thin veil, so give me a little more detail about it.
So during Halloween, we're in the middle of fall and we're going into winter. So during this time, a lot of people are cleansing, they're letting things go. So what happens is when we start shedding the old, we start becoming aware of the new. And so our senses become more heightened. We start missing our loved ones. When we start really digging through our past of like, okay, what is the things that we want to transition away from? We start becoming more aware of energies, departed loved ones, energy all around us, emotions.
Is this kind of the season when you maybe discovered that you had psychic abilities?
Actually, it is. So I actually found out I was a medium in the middle of September when I was 17. And then as I transitioned into October, that's when my gifts just started fluttering in more and more.
And was it part of the season thinking about people who had passed on? Because oftentimes I'm thinking that people at home, like the holiday season can be super sad for a lot of people who lost.
So Halloween is like our first holiday, right? Then we go into Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. So what ends up happening is we start planning family events. We start tapping into that energy and like
we
that
become more emotional.
More emotional. But as the winter time settles in, we go from being outdoors to being indoors and sitting at home going, what would this be like? What would that be like? We take more time because we become more slow and more aware of what's happening in the current moment.
So how can we tap into our intuition? You say you have this 4-step method, right?
Yes, so I like to call it the veil method.
Okay.
So it's vibrate high, so you raise your vibration, because again, energy is a higher frequency, spirit resonates at a higher frequency. So you vibrate high.
What is that? Explain what that means, really.
So you bring up your awareness, because you don't hold on to negativity. Again, when we go through October, we're letting things go. So what we end up doing is when we think of happier things or set goals, we're raising our vibration. And again, spirit has to lower their vibration. And as a psychic medium or people who want to connect with the other side, you have to raise that vibration to meet in the middle. And that's where psychic medium comes in.
Okay, so then in order to vibrate higher, you talk about taking slow, deep breaths.
Slow, deep breaths, meditation. There's a lot of science behind it that we actually start firing more of our neurons in our brains to be able to be in the moment and get both the left side and the right side of our brain to be able to be more cohesive. So you take slow, deep breaths, you become in the moment, you do a lot of visualization, and then you go into expressing your intention. So what is it that you want to do? Because if it's connecting with loved ones, if it's creating goals and really having, how do I put that into words? Really having the new perspective, like a new lens of glasses, right? So what is your intention?
Oh, okay.
Right.
Because I know a lot of people, women especially, get really anxious about the holidays because they've got to do all the planning.
Right.
They've got to already start buying the gifts.
Right.
They've got to decorate,
right.
that kind of stuff.
So they're already going in so many different directions and going through so many different emotions, because then you have the financial side of things. So.
Sure. Express intention, you say, is the E on veil.
So expressing your intention is, again, what is it that you want to do? Are you wanting to connect with loved ones? Are you wanting to clear out the past? Are you wanting to deal with your trauma? So when you vibrate high, you express your intention, you put that energy out there, and again, spirit, departed loved ones, guides, and angels will start to pick up on what you're throwing out there, because again, energy can't be destroyed, it can only be transferred.
Wow, okay. And invite awareness.
Yeah, so when you invite awareness, when you put the, again, intention out there, but you start telling the universe or spirit or even just your mind, like, hey, I'm expecting this phone call, I'm expecting this outcome, you start becoming more open to what it is you're throwing out into the universe.
So would this be the time then to think about someone you've lost and maybe in a way connecting with them?
Right.
Inviting them to connect with you.
Yeah, so if you want to connect with the departed loved one, I know last time I was here, I connected with your mom, so that would be the time that you're like, okay, Mom, during the holiday season, I'm starting to think about X, Y, and Z, or I'm starting to reminisce on certain situations that happened, so this is the time that I kind of want to close that chapter and let go of some things.
Okay, so then you also say, for the L in veil, listen and log.
Listen and log. So if you don't listen, you cannot accomplish anything. So if you put the intention out there, and we live such busy lives and you go about your daily whatever, how are you going to get those messages? How are you going to pick up on those signs? How are you going to notice the outcome is already starting to shift? So when you slow down and listen and you become aware of what's happening, and then you know that Spirit is actually listening to you as well, start logging it. Because what happens is, again—
Do you do that? Do you log
absolutely.
it? Yeah.
So instead of second guessing, I literally just go, thank you. I don't overanalyze it. I don't overthink it. Because what happens is, again, when you raise your vibration, you start second guessing, you start lowering that vibration, and you start disconnecting. So think of it as like a battery. So when you're building, and building, you want to listen and log, which is also honoring what you're getting or what Spirit's already doing. But when you second guess it, you start kind of taking that away. So listening and logging and honoring.
Can you give me an example of when you've logged, maybe the latest?
Yeah, so actually it was this morning, instead of going, oh, of course I put a hummingbird feeder out there, there's gonna be a hummingbird. Actually, this is our first hummingbird that we ever saw, and again, we're getting into colder months, so it's like, how ironic that right now there's a hummingbird as I was getting ready.
Yeah.
Or a friend of mine sent me a picture and we were starting to work on a project, and she literally got off the phone with me, and my logo's a butterfly, it always has been. And right when she was leaving, this huge monarch butterfly landed right in front of her. And she was like, oh, how interesting. And she was walking to go pick up groceries, went around the corner, started walking, and she's over in LA. And one of those little delivery robots was walking, and on the side it said Monroe.
Oh, wow.
So little things like that, instead of her going, oh, you know, that's just a coincidence, that was just here. She literally was just like, let me take a picture, let me honor it, let me log it, and then she shared it with me.
Wow, I get it. I get it. Thank you so much, Daniel. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.